everyone. Hello, everyone. No, too much. Hi, guys. It's Nicole back again. These high rises are not fair, right? They don't fit the way that I think that they should. No, I'm not happy with it though. I'll tell you that. I'm wearing some 1822 jeans that I thrifted. Fantastic if you've never seen them. Here is what we're doing today. Sales range from $50 to $450 for an item. Try and give you information on how much I paid for them so you can see what my profit was. Here goes the postman. He just picked up all my packages for me from my mailbox. So I'm having a good Monday, kind of on top of things. So I hate when people say without further ado. It seems like everybody on YouTube is using without further ado, or let's just get into it, kind of transitional tag phrase, except let's go, bitches. Okay, so this is a dress that sold back in the beginning of my Poshmark experience. This was an actual dress that I wore back in 2006. I bought it in Macy's for probably like $300, and I tagged it as Flapper, Roaring 20s, Gatsby gown, and it sold with an offer of $50. So these are a pair of Tommy Hilfiger boots that I picked up in a bag sale at the end of prior winter season. I sold them for $60. They were brand new on Vito Rossi's. They are a really sexy pump that I sold for $75. They were on consignment from a family member. They were brand new. I actually did not take any money from the family member, so that I did not make any money off of, but it's good to know this brand and this style sold fairly quickly for $75. This is a pair of New with Tags True Religion that I got out of a liquidation.com box. They sold very quickly on Poshmark for $55. So this pair of Fry boots is one of many. It sold for $103. It was a great size and they were in like new condition. I picked them up for about $15 in Goodwill. They sold for $103. I did not have to do any work to these Fry boots. They sell amazingly. I called them moto boots, ranch boots. They were new without tags, and I made sure to put the style was Veronica. These sold, all my Fry boots sell really well, and you'll see that Fry boots show up here in my top sales, over $50, quite often actually. This pair of Kate Spade poly booties, they were the smooth leather. They were like new. I sold those late in season, January 2019. I bought them in Goodwill for $14.99, and they sold for $75. I did take a best offer. I do want to point out that I only had one liker. This pair of shoes is a really regretful sale. They are Giuseppe Zanotti's, and they are blue suede shoes, brand new. I'd gotten them in the Goodwill for, oh my gosh, it was like $4.99. This Athleta jacket I'd gotten at the end of season in a bag sale. It was like new, and that one sold really quickly. I was really excited for $72. I paid $5 for the entire bag. Size 34. They sold really fast. I'd gotten an offer of $55 and took it. I picked them up for $3.99. This is a vintage Champion varsity button-down cardigan. That one actually took more than I expected to sell. It was in February, however, and that one sold for $55. I bought that for $2. It was in excellent condition. It was retro. This next item sat for a little bit, but it's the ULUs. They sold for $60. This is, I don't even want to show it to you because I'm disappointed in myself. This is a vintage cloak. It's 100% wool, and I just got it for $1 or $2, and I wanted to sell it so bad, and I sold it for $58. These are Paul Greens. They sold for $52 late in season. They're booties. They were brown suede. Paul Greens are supposed to be made forever, so I was happy with the return. This next dress is a Kate Spade dress I got in Goodwill for $5.99. I used a stock photo, not as my cover photo, but I think it was around Valentine's Day, it sold really quick. These were super exciting. I got these glasses for 50 cents, and I tagged them properly as enamel, cat eye, vintage, retro. They sold for $100, my full asking price, and again, take a look. There weren't any likers except for one. This pair of, I believe these are Tony Llamas, sold for $60, and they were ostrich. Make sure you put if there is some kind of a unique leather in your product. I sell a decent amount of cosplay costumes, and this is one of them. I'd gotten this dress for $2 at a store that was going out of business. It is Von Lancelot. You can tell it's a really good quality. They sell a lot of gothic, kind of medieval type dresses. This pair of Jordans were youth, actually. They were a youth 7, but I made sure that I listed them both as a youth 7. That didn't move, so then I listed them as a women's 9, and I mentioned in my ad that they were really sized as a youth 7. They sold for $65 once I changed that. This Sleeping on Snow was really awesome. Long cashmere oversized mohair blazer that sold for $55 late in season. These are really cool Ralph Lauren retro, I would call them moto boots or combat boots. They sat for a little bit and sold for $65. Again, these are all bought in bag sales. This is another Van Lauten that I picked up for $2 or $3. This one was new in tags, and it was a really large size. I think it was 16 or 20, 18 actually. And it sat for a little bit, and I ended up selling it for $60. I was pretty happy with that profit. This Patagonia jacket also sold late in season, but I sold it for $90, so I was very happy with that. It was in excellent condition. Make sure you list if you have Gore-Tex as your material. You definitely want to note that. A Gunny Sacks dress. This is the first of 2 that I've sold in my closet, over $50. Actually, the only 2. This dress sold really quickly for $79. This I picked up at a church thrift, and I picked it up for $2. It ended up selling for $75 for Love and Lemons, Gianna style crossback apron dress. These are Doc Martens. These were also, just make sure you pay attention when you're picking up Docs, that some of them are made in England and sized in a UK size, and some of them are made in the US and therefore sized US. These were the actual made in England ones, so they were UK size 3, women's size 5. This kimono I picked up for $2 in one of my favorite private thrifts. It ended up selling very quickly for $60. It's called Pujamis. These moto boots sold for $67. I picked them up at one of those church thrifts where I got the for Love and Lemons. This one sold to a woman who specifically wanted to match her bike to the flames, and she wanted to make sure that those flames were the exact right color. So I picked those up for $3. They sold for $67. This is a yoga sack, and I just found this somewhere and paid $1 for it. It sold to someone who said she'd been searching for it forever for $50. Another pair of Fry boots. These Fry boots sold, I think every pair of Fry boots sells very reasonable in time. It sold in less than 4 weeks, and I sold these for $75. This is a really interesting piece that I picked up. It sold for $52. It was dead stock with tags. It was made for, I believe the tag said large women, size 18 and a half. And it has a union label. Large size woman was the tag, and it was 100% cotton. And I made sure I started to tag things better at this point in my poshing career, which is when I think that I started to learn that when you tag it properly, it sells.